Okay, so let's kind of first start off by getting familiar, kind of recognizing what kind of data we're working with. So this data set is coming from NRCan, and we have a whole bunch of 40 years actually worth of snow and rainfall value data. So it's going to come in per month, and this is kind of what it's looking like. So you can see we have our precipitation type, whether it's precipitation, rain, or snow. And then we also have the year it's being logged for, as well as the month. And so really what we're going to want to do here, instead of going through 40 years worth of data, is to use a pivot table or an Excel template to kind of quickly create a graph about the totals per month per year. So we're going to read in our weather data like we just have done here. And then we're going to do some simple calculations. So this attribute manager is actually creating an Excel formula. And so we have, if you've used the sum operation before, this is the formula that we're actually creating. And Excel will leverage this when we write to it. So as soon as we start writing, Excel is going to start doing those calculations and summing up our month's worth of data. So you'll notice this workspace is pretty simple, and that's because the power behind this workspace is actually coming from the Excel template. And so this rater is going to look a little bit different. You'll notice that our sheet name, we have our sheet raw data, and then we have our named range. And so our named range is kind of the bounds in which we're going to write to within Excel. And so our named range can be found in our template file. So we'll notice that we're pointing our rater at a template here, and it's in a user parameter. So let's go take a look at that user parameter. User parameters are things that the author or the runner of the workspace will be prompted for at runtime. So we have date time options. We can, for example, submit or kind of apply files. So here, let's take a look at our template. We're going to open this in Excel. And I actually want to show you where you can figure out or where you can find your named range. So here we have our raw data sheet. And so this is what we're writing to in our Excel writer. And so we can see we have this weather table name box at the top. So if we go to formulas and then name manager, we'll actually be able to see our named range. And this is really, just defining the range at which we would like FME to write or kind of populate. So once FME populates this named range, we will start to see these values reflected in the pivot tables and the summary charts downstream. So right now, these values aren't reflected by what we're writing, but they will be. So if we go ahead and we run that, we'll actually see an updated graph, and we'll see an updated set of raw data as well. Awesome, so it's actually quite fast. We have our weather data for output because our precipitation value ends in 2020. And we can see we have a new set of raw data, and we have a updated chart